All right, ELD, we are going to do a quick review of the expectations and the criteria for success for our second SCR for week 2. So again, we're in module 5. We just finished reading the article that we're looking at today. We're going to think back to the article that we read on Monday. So on Monday, you all read about how the world was affected by the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic. If we compare that article to what we are currently going through with the coronavirus, we can see multiple similarities between how doctors and citizens handled the flu of 1918 and how we as a country and world are handling the coronavirus right now. So our prompt is thinking back to that article from Monday and using this article, draw some comparisons about how the world is fighting back against the coronavirus. So again, I always include these criteria for success. Correct punctuation. Are my sentences capitalized? Do I have periods, commas, quotation marks? Is my spelling all correct? And are my sentences in the correct places? Did I use every single sentence starter that was given to me to start all of my sentences? Did I create my own sentence starters when asked to do so? Are my sentences in order? And did I use at least 2 words from the word bank within my SCR? So we've got a word bank that we looked at on Wednesday in our No Red Ink work. We're going to continue using those words within our own writing to build our practice with them. So this is the word bank that we looked at for those commonly confused words. This is what you're able to identify on Wednesday. So now what I'm asking you to do is continue building off that work and include those words within your SCR. Here's a sentence order. It's sentence 1 through 6. So that means that your sentence 2 should follow sentence 1. Sentence 3 should follow sentence 2. Keep these in order. And how you keep these in order is just start each sentence with the sentence starter that I've given you. Okay, so each sentence kind of has a question that we're going to answer to help kind of guide our writing and what we want to include for each sentence. So for instance, our intro sentence. How is the coronavirus affecting people's well-being? I gave you a little hint here. Vocab words that you can use in this sentence, depending on how you create it, could be morning, good, well, affect, and effect. So my sentence starter is right here, highlighted in green. Millions of people around the world are. Now, what I have here is my sample writing. So this is going to be my exemplar that I created. In bold here, you will see that I have begun every single one of my sentences with the sentence starter that I have provided in the prompt. And then you'll see sentence starters where I need to create my own. So, again, this is the sentence starter right here. Millions of people around the world are. That is in bold. I'm including that in my very first sentence. So millions of people around the world are mourning the loss of friends and family members that they have lost due to the coronavirus. Now, there's 2 things here that I want to focus on. I'm asking you, for one of our criteria for success, to use 2 of these words within our writing. Now, I want you to highlight those words to point them out to me so I can go through all of your reading and know that you use one. So my first one here in my first sentence, I took my hint. This could be a word that I could use in my sentence. I'm using morning. I'm going to highlight that, this green color here. Boom. Now, if we keep going, I see I have a misspelled word. And I know it's misspelled because of that squiggly line underneath. So I'm going to hover that. I'm going to right click it. And it has my suggestion here. So I have lot where there should be lost in there. So I'm just going to switch that. And I'm going to correct that and make that adjustment. So as I'm going through my reading, I am looking at words that, this Google document is telling me that I have either misplaced, they're in the wrong spot, or they are misspelled. So I have my first sentence there. I have a sentence starter that was given to me. I've already got one of my vocab words that I've included in my writing. And I have in my first sentence, starting this off so I know it's in the correct order. Second sentence. What are people around the world What are people around the world doing to fight against their coronavirus that we saw similarly in 1918? I have another hint here for you. Use today's article to show how we are fighting the coronavirus. Let me scroll up here. This is the link that we are looking at here. So people today are doing all of these actions. They're staying at home. They're when going outside, they're being extra cautious. They're considering wearing a mask in public. They're washing their hands with soap, then wash them again. With children, keep calm, carry on, and get the flu shot. Stock up on groceries, medicine, and resources. These are all things that we are doing today to fight against the coronavirus. Now, if I think back to the module from Monday, I know that many people back in 1918 were frequently washing their hands as often as possible. So, I have my sentence starter. Similar to the 1918 flu pandemic, people around the world are making sure to frequently wash their hands very well and as often as possible. Now, well is one of our commonly confused words. When do we use well and when do we use good? I made sure to include that in there. So I'm going to highlight that again. Now I'm only on my second sentence, and I've already met that criteria for success, and including at least 2 of my vocab words within my writing. Again, I see another squiggly line here, so I'm going to right-click that, and it says wash. So it says consider changing to wash. That is correct. I meant to write wash in there, but I wrote was instead. So I'm going to make that change. So I've got my first 2 sentences. If they're in order, I'm just following along sentence 1, sentence 2, and I'm using the sentence starters to begin each of my sentences. Okay, so now we're on the third sentence. Introduce your evidence to support sentence 2. Now, I know that I looked back and I saw that this is what we're doing to fight against the coronavirus now. So it says find that evidence. Okay, so I'm going to use my sentence starter. My sentence starter is in the article, and it has a blank spot for you to write the article name in there. So the article is entitled How to Protect Yourself and Prepare for the Coronavirus. So in the article, How to Protect Yourself and Prepare for the Coronavirus, it states, that's my sentence starter. Now, I'm going to go back to this and say, okay, now I said that people are washing their hands. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to take me directly to the spot in this article where it tells us what to do. And here is the evidence that I used. Boom, right there. That's my evidence that I'm taking out. I'm going back in. I included that same exact evidence in my article with the correct quotation marks. I have my period inside of my quotation marks. And now I've done sentence 3. I don't need to highlight any words in there because I've already met my criteria for success for vocab words. Now, sentence 4. What are some other ways we can fight against the coronavirus? That's the question. Hint, scroll up and click on the link below today's prompt. That's what we already opened up. So we have that. There's a ton of other ways. These are all the ways that are helping us. So I just looked here. I'm like, okay, I see all of these ways. I'm just going to add that. Now I'm asking you to create your own sentence starter for this sentence, because remember, we have to build up our practice with creating our own sentence starters. What words from the question can I pull out and use academically to create my own sentence starter? So I have this here. Sentence 4. Some of the other steps we can take to protect ourselves from the coronavirus is to stay home as much as possible and consider wearing a mask in public. Short, sweet. Stay home, consider wearing a mask in public. That information is right there for me. Just included that in. You guys can read the rest of my SCR. I made sure to hit each of my criteria for success. I created my own sentence starters. I don't have any misspelled words. I don't have any squiggly lines. My sentences are in order. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stay in order. Do not have any run-on sentences. Don't just keep going on and on and on and on and on. As you write through this, I'll be following along, and so I can make those adjustments as I see them happening. This is an exemplar. Do not copy and paste this. Do not use the exact same words that I do. Only use the sentence starters that I use for the first 3 sentences. Create your own, or yours can look similar to mine because all I'm doing is taking out that academic language from the question. So it should look similar, but try and create your own as best you can. If you have any questions, I will be here to answer them for you. Just please message me one-on-one. Thank you.